Hello everyone. I just want to make a quick video about some ways to come back to a game when you have a rough start and why it's never over. Especially versus Neela in particular, who is, for the most part, a melee AD carry. So right now I'm down 0-3 minus 10 CS. As a team, we're down about 1,000 gold. It's pretty bad. Like, this is not really how you want to start a game. What we do, and this is right before we even lose this team fight. So as a team, our gold lead is just getting worse and worse. But fortunately for me, I don't die. And not dying in that team fight is huge because, you know, I can catch that remaining CS, which is nice. And Victor realizes that if he doesn't push this wave in, his bot lane can get frozen on. So he actually spends extra time. He cancels his own recall to try his best to push it in. They get the dragon, and I try to just back as soon as that wave dies because I want to come back ASAP and I don't want to stay longer because Rel's back on the map. She could come down and fight and get us off the wave. She and Rel could have come down here around the time I'm pushing this and forced a fight, and then the wave is stuck on this side of the lane, which would be really bad. So it's good that I backed right away. Instead, Rel notices that the Jhin is not farming, so she looks to make a play mid. They unfortunately get my mid laner. So the game is looking pretty bad. We're like down 2,000 gold. Catching that last wave brought me close to CS with the Neela, but it's still pretty bad because we're 0-4 bot. But what I'm trying to do here is I know that Neela and Rel want to fight us because if you push, you're just opening yourself up to them running you down the lane. So Rel decides, hey, we're ahead bot. Neela is undiveable. I'm just going to try to make stuff happen around the map, which I think is a very fine decision. Right now, I don't really think she's doing much because her jungler's kind of split, her mid laner just backed. So this particular timing isn't the best. Yeah, mid TP. So yeah, they can definitely look for something here. And looking at the score, they do find some kills. So yeah, it's good for the Rel to be roaming. And when you are 2v1 bot lane, since the Sona is also behind, she wouldn't really get as much value from matching that. I think the best course of action is to extract as much damage to the enemy team and help yourself as much as possible whenever you're given the opportunity to 2v1. So if you are ahead in a 2v1, you can typically fight. We're behind, and Neela, in my opinion, is a particularly difficult AD carry to dive. So we just have to try to freeze and deny CS. Because, again, she's melee. She doesn't really have a way to get this farm as long as we don't push the wave into the tower. So we try to hold the minions here, make sure she doesn't get any farm. I don't really know XP range, so I don't know if she's getting XP as well. But once we get to this point where we're like 75% into the wave and the minions hit, we can't just leave now because then she could freeze. So we just have to shove the wave into the tower. We do that. Yeah, they're fighting. You know, since they have the advantage there, they just get kills. That's very unfortunate. Gold lead still kind of 2,000, almost 3,000-ish. Yeah, 3,000 gold lead on their team. But we crash the wave, and Neela's ahead, but she's not that ahead, so she ends up eating a lot of poke. And again, like, I don't even play this well. Like, I ult nothing. Like, I'm not really sure where that was going. But we're able to get the shove in. We got a turn, essentially, to do whatever we want on this side of the map, because Rel chose to fight topside. They won topside. So all we can do is get as much value as we can as a bot lane in this kind of a disaster start. So the gold lead is quite wide, but we were able to kind of even the CS and actually catch up and surpass the Neela CS. So that's the best we can do in that opportunity. If we were to match the Rel, it would not have done anything. And if Sona matched the Rel, for example, a 0-3 Sona, I don't think that would have done much. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we have really good wombo combo that we can hit there. I just think that the gold advantage is so wide that it's better for Sonas to help me get the wave in, so Neela falls behind in farm. So we get back to the wave, and Neela is actually also unable to kind of get a full push in. She should have rose there. If you're behind, you got to look for any mistake you can punish. So here we notice that the Neela did not get the push in. Rel probably should have helped at this point instead of like looking mid. So we end up freezing, and keep in mind I'm only about 5 CS ahead at this point, and you know we're down 0-4 versus 3-1 bot lane. So we freeze this. She gets a couple of minions, but we actually we're willing to take damage from the minions to freeze it, because you don't want the minions to die to the tower. What the enemy bot lane is doing, they identify that if we tank minions, they should be able to win the fight. And also, they have to fight us, because if we freeze, that's kind of the only way we can come back into this game. For our bot lane specifically. I'm not really sure about top, jungle, mid. Still behind, you're not going to win any fights. So they do scale, but you don't want to give your enemies an opportunity to come back. This is definitely not enough to hold a freeze, but it's enough for the wave to hit on our side of the lane, which is kind of our saving grace at this point. So you can see there the Neela tried to get a few minions, but she made the mistake of using Q, because it actually ends up pushing the wave further into us. I think she has to accept that she can't get the farm and just let it come back, because they don't have a way to break the freeze unless they ping Morgana to come. It looks like she actually is coming, but she's a little unsure. Actually, she's looking, based on her movements, it looks like she's actually looking for like the camps and not actually to help her bot lane break the freeze. Neela is here, and I think Rel just forgot to pressure us. I'm not really sure. Maybe she's strategizing with the team, or she thinks that if she doesn't show, we'll push the wave back in to try to hit the tower. But I think that a better decision from Rel would be to help pressure us so that the wave can crash and reset. Oh no, she's just looking for a surprise play. We grew like about a 1 lane lead to a 2 lane lead. And then my Sona, so they do try to break the freeze here by crashing it. Sona plays a perfect ult, and we're able to catch the Rel, even though they hit us with all their CC. Like whenever you get a CS or a kill, it gives you like a little nice sound effect. If you got that whenever your enemy missed a minion, people would freeze more often. So we saw the Rel was up there, so I have a little bit of confidence going up here. And you just drag the minions back, as far back as you can, so that when the next wave hits, it's like a super wave here. And the reason why you want to build a super wave is because they'll kill your minions so fast. But it also just allows us to exist. If we were, example, here, like Rel has flash, you could flash W and look for an ult, and then Neela ult on top of it. Like it's really bad if we're pushed up against such a hard engaged bot lane. Neela, they do want to break the freeze, so they fight us. But unfortunately, it takes them too long to kill any of us. That we're able to actually get a kill back on the Neela. I think in this situation, you should definitely wait for the Morgana to come, help you push the wave out. But I guess they got too overconfident because they were really ahead in gold. And at this point, all of this plus the shutdowns that the rest of my team is able to fight on the other sides of the map have brought the gold back to even. So I don't know why I ult here. I just hope that Morgana like forgets to play the game. I pushed this one out because I think that I have enough time to send it into the tower, and then minions to die to the tower and then recall. But what I didn't expect is Morgana to circle back. But again, I'm not too scared because I'm thinking that if she doesn't hit a Q, then I can fight her. I do a W flash for some reason. So I definitely troll there, but the Jin's movement speed actually bails me out. And again, this was another mistake by me. I didn't realize the Neela just respawned. So I can fight here actually. I have to be very careful here in case of a dive. I think we're okay. And at this point, we're kind of growing that CS lead. She pushes the wave in again. Another mistake by her. So at this point, we are actually at a gold lead of about 3,000. Again, I think my top side smurfed on fights. That's an unfortunate Orianna ulti. And, you know, it's partially due to the enemy making mistakes, but I think what's really big here is it goes to show that just because you're ahead, it doesn't mean that it's good to push waves. Especially in the early game. So, yeah, I think that's basically it. If you're able to freeze, it kind of forces the opponents to make bad decisions.